Okay. We got the music going.
Oh, so scary.
It's time for vibes. Bad vibes.
No.
I mean, we are in a plagued quarantine district in a labyrinth designed to murder us, so I mean, that's fitting.
Yes, I suppose so.
I mean, it was designed to murder everyone.
The royal us.
I think, oh yeah, how is everyone looking, like, health-wise? I forgot to ask at the end of last session.
I think I'm doing all right. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
doing okay.
Aramis is alright as well because of the injectors
Ow.
it's given.
Also, ow. Also, no magic left.
Sounds problematic.
I think.
Not my problematic.
Let's see. Yeah, I sat on all my spells.
Sounds like a personal problem.
Right. Yeah.
I had to
Dang.
heal, and I had to save Daisy.
We had to save each other, to be fair.
Yeah, that's where all my magic went.
Oh, okay.
So, who remembers what happened last time? Does anybody remember where we left off?
Your handy dandy note taker remembers. Day started off pretty typically. Daisy made muffins. People wondered where they came from, but ate them anyways. There was some light conversation over breakfast between a couple of the party members, kind of trying to rationalize some of the occurrences and revelations amongst themselves. But the party got right to work and headed over to the factory. And inside sort of saw a structure in the shadows. But Marjorie saw a slight glow moving around. Inside the factory proper, which is where the wizard's tower sort of meets the factory walls, there is a bit of a face built out of the scrap in the wall, surrounded by hundreds of candles, some still burning. Marjorie saw a ghost in the area and began speaking to it. Fortunately, it doesn't seem like anybody else in the party realized that, except for Daisy. The rest of the party set about inspecting the environment and what appears to be a shrine of sorts. There were rudimentary wards and alarm spells on the entrance, but they were disabled, and our resident engineer figured out how to open the door. It looked as though it was a Mask of the Hussar, which is just more Alfaxmos iconography that, breadcrumbs on this trail. After speaking with the ghost and returning to the party, Marjorie suggested that we kept an eye out for victims of the maze. They might have clues on how to proceed. And thus we headed inside. After about an hour or so of going through the maze, we ended up finding ourselves moving up the tower into the first room of traps, which was a room of tin can pressure plates with spring-loaded knives in the wall. Through some arcane cunning and quick thinking, we were able to begin making our way across, but were waylaid by some spiders that Daisy tried talking to first to no avail. But we did reach the other side of the room and headed up to an upside-down tavern where the ale oozed itself out of barrels and started attacking us. So we got out of dodge as quickly as we could, and that led us to a rope bridge of sorts crossing a gap over to the tower. And while we were preparing to cross this gap and making it a little easier for ourselves, Mad Maddie started firing at us from higher up in the tower. And I believe that's where we left off.
Oh, yeah. Daisy went down. I remember
Yes,
that. Yeah, she went
that's right.
down for
And you guys sent the crippled old man to go and rescue her, and he was successful somehow.
Marcus
Also,
went for
probably
emotional
shot her.
support.
Sent the ghost for emotional support, yes.
I'm pretty sure I shot Maddie too.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah,
chased her
because
off. Yeah.
you guys returned fire and suppressed her successfully, and you ended on the other side of the bridge, actually, in the relative safety of this weird cone-shaped entrance to the wizard tower.
And now I think we
Yeah.
were considering taking a break, but we're also in danger. So it's like one of those, where are we going to comfortably rest if we can? You said, what did we see ahead? I forgot. It's been a week.
Well, there are
'Cause we
twists
could
and turns
see.
ahead, but you hear the telltale sounds of like steam pistons and boilers.
Marjorie gets kind of excited. She's like, maybe we could rest there. I do not think we should rest in the hall. There's no cover here.
That is probably a tactical choice. As long as there are no places where we may be victims of another overwatch from this Mad Maddie.
Yeah, who's to know if she can move through the walls and floors like that fellow back at the glassworks.
That is a good point. One I had not considered.
Frankly, I don't think we're going to be safe until we leave.
Most
Probably
likely
not. But I know we will need a moment of respite at the very least.
Yeah, are we
I
able
mean,
to at least peek down the hallway to see if this room looks like it's going to be trouble, or if we could like steal a rest there for some folks?
Yeah, sure. You peer around the hallway, and this is a part of the structure that spirals around the wizard tower, and you can see that there are some entrances that have been like bashed through to the inside of the tower. So technically the hallway might be the safest bet because you can see in pretty much every direction, but if something big happens, you'll basically be trapped. But then again, you're kind of trapped no matter where you are because you're in a maze.
Hooray!
I think we're in the sturdiest part of the maze right now, because now it's not, because she didn't build the wizard tower. This was just an abandoned tower, right?
Yeah, it's half collapsed and leaning on top of this factory, so
Oh, okay.
even though it's the sturdiest part, it's still not too
Yeah, still not
sturdy.
great. Okay. um. Well, Marjorie gives you guys the update. She says, "Well, it is perhaps safer in there, but we could see anything approaching us here. But she kind of like does the two hands when you're weighing two terrible options. She just go, uh, we could see what the next room has, and hope it is not something troublesome. And then we could deal with it and make that our resting location."
Well, with our luck, it's definitely going to be troublesome. I think real question is just how troublesome.
Well, if we continue staying here, we'll leave ourselves open to an attack. And he, gestures over to the holes in the wall. So either way, we must make a decision.
I mean, it's easy for me to say move on because I sat on all my spell slots. So
I'm
also fine
in a
with
similar
moving on.
boat.
I mean,
Yeah.
I have my gun, so I'm just at half health and have no spells to save anyone anymore.
what'd you say, Rain?
I'm fine. I've got all my spells,
Oh, okay.
and
All right.
I'm low health, but
Right. Okay.
I
Okay.
got everything.
Okay. So I don't know if anyone wanted to heal up or anything before we went in. That might be the better choice.
I've got more in my briefcase. If anyone needs it, I've got a couple of potions and a couple of syringes.
Listen, I'd take either one. Just give me whatever you don't want.
You want 5 to 12, or do you want 10 HP?
I'll just take the straight 10 because then I'm near max.
All right, there you go. He'll pull out a 10 HP syringe for you.
Daisy is very confused and tries to eat it first.
It's very crunchy. Very crunchy, but it still
glass.
works.
Like everyone's like, ah, yes, Daisy will use the syringe.
Oh. Well, yeah, we both laugh uncomfortably.
She
Well, if it gets the job done.
Yeah.
She spits out like the metal part of the needle. Everything else is gone.
I think maybe she should see a real doctor.
One of these days, we'll stop being surprised at everything she does. But it's not today.
Madam Black is just in the
No.
background like, everyone is okay with this. Truly.
No, no one said that.
Just bigger problems right now.
Yeah, priorities. Let us see what this room has as in store for us.
Okay, so you guys choose to venture forward. You start going up the spiral, and it is slow, difficult travel because the area is filled with weird switchbacks, makeshift stairs, ladders. It's almost like you guys are climbing a giant fire escape made out of garbage.
Neat.
None of it is confidence inspiring. It is filled with all sorts of dark holes that go into the building. You go into the wizard tower, and you hear weird noises, kind of dripping sounds, creaking,
Oh,
because you guys are going up higher and the wind is moving the structure.
Mm-hmm.
That's mildly concerning.
only mildly.
Yep,
I do not
we'll
think
leave it at that for now.
ever been in a building that moves at all. She kind of nervously puts a hand on the wall.
I mean, yes, it's mildly concerning, but only because there's also spring-loaded knife traps and who knows what else in the walls.
Exciting, isn't it?
Not quite the word I'd use, but sure, let's go with that.
Heinrich says that safely from not the front.
Oh yeah, easy to say for the not meat shield, which I mean the bard's in front, so I don't know what kind of decision that is. So
Yeah, I was about to say,
As I
speaking of
recall,
meat
you
shield,
volunteered.
right, speaking of meat shield.
You're right. We should have put the cripple up front.
speaking of meat shields, how about an investigation or perception for me there, small Marge?
Yeah, sure. Oh my god, I set myself up for the really shitty nickname, didn't I?
Small, large, delightful.
My god.
Mini Marge.
Kill me.
Mini Marge.
17. Oh no.
Mini Margie.
I'm not that small, guys. I'm normal people sized.
No. But hey, it was a good check.
Marjorie, you find tons of traps here, and they are all pretty devious. Some staircases have no traps at all. Some of them are very obvious. Some of them are hidden underneath the steps. Some of them are the steps. In the walls, in the rafters. But you find them and manage to avoid pretty much all of them. Those that you can't avoid, you manage to successfully disarm.
And this is just the hallway to the pipe room, or are we in the pipe room now?
This
the
is the
steam room
hallway.
or whatever.
This is the hallway to the noises, because you are
Okay.
following the noises of the hissing and the mechanical churning until eventually the hallway. You guys are in the outside structure that like wraps around the tower, but eventually you do make it to a big ol' entrance, and you can tell that this is the room that was emanating all those noises. You see tons of pipes, a bunch of boilers, and everything looks to still be more or less running. Everything's all rusty and grimy, but operational nonetheless. It is a pretty large, tall room. You can see that there are like gangways and metal stairs and what have you, and you can see that there's some sort of entrance or exit on the other side, but it'll take some getting to get over there, because it looks like the original walkways were taken down and new ones were put in that are some kind of MC Escher-esque nightmare of multiple different stairways going in incorrect directions. And hanging from the ceiling and from the beams and the pipes are tons of little figurines of eagles and birds and hawks. It looks like stone ones that were taken from like the outsides of buildings, little wooden figures that look like souvenirs, larger ones that look like they were busted off of lamps or something. But they're hanging all over the place, almost like wind chimes.
Like above us at head level or a little outside of reach?
Oh, they are well within reach. You have to walk
Duck?
in between them.
Oh, okay. Well, there's her alarm system, I assume.
Probably.
Yeah, Nadia reminds you that she already knows that you're here.
That's true. So, like, the chimes or whatever. Well, Marjorie, like, stays in the doorway for a few minutes, and she's looking for the corpse of her friend, her paladin friend. See if I could see her from the door.
You cannot. You definitely
Okay.
have to go further in.
Oh, okay. She just kind of sighs.
Is the bird iconography, is that more Alphexmos?
Yes. It is. The eagle especially. I suppose she settled for hawks and other birds as well.
So it would seem.
Well, Heinrich, you are not 100% familiar with birds. You're not like an ornithologist or whatever, but even the hawks look like eagles to you. You figure somebody who's into the whole hawk eagle thing with the Alphaxos, this would be like, yeah, this looks good enough. This is eagle-y.
I believe she is some sort of a bird person. Very into them.
But yes, very difficult to hear in the room. There are pipes bellowing steam and some of them hissing out more pressurized. Ooh, Aramis, hit me with either an investigation or a perception.
Perception. Better. Did I say it was better? Because not that time, it's not.
Well, Aramis, you still get the lingering feeling that you're being watched, and you keep looking behind you, just reflexively, and you are still certain that you are being followed or watched by someone.
Of course.
And you can't quite seem to catch them.
Of course.
Yaraplet kind of pats you on the back. He says, "Oh, tell me about it. This place is giving me the creeps."
Alright.
You said it, buddy.
Why do the
anyone's-
crazy people have to be so weird about it?
Don't ask me.
Can anyone see a way through? It's hard to tell where anything even goes.
I kind of look to Marcus. You cannot trigger any of the traps. If you could please take a look, perhaps you could find us a safe route.
Oh, I could give it a try, I suppose. Because this place is giving me the heebie-jeebies.
Well, I suppose the key is to realize that you are a part of the heebies jeebies. She kind of makes a face as if it's like a vaguely unfamiliar term.
He looks offended. What are you talking about? I'm not creepy or weird.
But you are a ghost.
Oh! There's hardly anything I could do about that, now is there?
No.
And besides, whose fault is it in the first place, You don't know, because you're busy, instead of going on the investigations that I hired you for, messing around and, he, like, waves his arms around. Whatever the hell this even is!
She does a soothing gesture to Marcus. I promise I will get you a mystery as soon as possible. We got caught up in other things. And she just kind of like gestures to kind of everybody. Like you know how we got dragged into everything together. We are a team as of now, and we must act like it.
Fine, I guess. Still going to be pestering you about solving my mystery.
She reluctantly gives him a pat on the shoulder. Is Marjorie like able to touch him? I feel like she's able to make some sort of contact.
You absent-mindedly give him a pat on the shoulder like you're talking to a normal person, and
Yeah.
it doesn't hit you until afterwards that you actually kind of made contact with him. It was really cold, but there was some resistance there, as if he was, like, physically able to feel it.
Okay. And I wasn't able to before because I think we made contact like a long time ago, and I could tell because of the coldness that we touched, but not. I don't remember if I was able to like be like, oh, there was resistance there. Is that always a thing, or just this case?
You can tell that he's getting not wholly solid, but more solid. You can tell that as far as spirits go, he's becoming more grounded.
Corporeal.
Yeah, she sighs. Just be careful. Do not touch anything. I do not know whatever else will change.
Oh, thanks for the advice. I was really planning on putting my hands on all this weird, gross, dirty stuff hanging from the ceiling in this deadly trap-filled maze. And he floats away, going, what is
That
this?
may not be a good idea.
I was being sarcastic. I need you to roll a stealth for me, for Marcus.
Oh, oops, I think I rolled the wrong thing for him. My bad. I rolled initiative for him instead. You said stealth?
Yes.
Oh, well, he's just gonna have to roll a flat dex because he's got a big old goose egg, and that went great. Oh, it's to the GM. Why? Oh, there it
You
is.
probably got that
Because
I
it's
changed
just
it.
for me.
Yeah, it's just for you. He rolled a 5, everyone.
Surprise, surprise.
He's rolling ghost dice, so we can't see them.
Yeah, phantom dice. No one else can see them.
All right, so he's gone for a few moments, and you all hear a huge hiss of steam billowing out from the direction he came, and you hear Marcus go, "Ah!" And he takes 4 damage from some steam that erupts directly in his face.
Oh, he's only resistant to that. But I think. Oh, okay. Well, he's okay. He doesn't pop, so he's got. So what? He takes 2 damage. Because you said 4 damage.
4 fire damage.
For fire. Yeah, he only takes 2 because he has resistance to fire.
Ooh,
He's
good for
resistance.
Marcus.
Yeah. Hmm.
All right, I found a trap.
She sighs because he like has no way to like mark it. I assume is he more than 30 feet away?
He's not that far away, actually. He's about 20 feet. All, to the point where all of you guys see this.
Oh, okay. I would summon my mage hand, give it a lipstick, and have it mark it for whenever we're going to go out that way. Sorry. Yeah, she kind of apologetically like whisper shouts at him.
Imagine having a name like Marcus and you can't even mark it.
Not yet.
Oof.
I feel like he's getting more solid, so he won't be able to go on these kind of little missions for much longer.
I take 35 psychic damage.
Nice.
Um, is this MC Eschering in that? Does it seem like there's any magical nature to this, or is it all mechanical?
Roll an Arcana. Ollie, you spend a few moments attuning yourself to the magical tides of the area, and you definitely feel like there's a great deal of magical mumbo jumbo coming from, first of all, above you, secondly, around you, but most of all, underneath you. A lot of these engines are not magical in their entirety, but magically assisted, which makes a lot of sense to you because they're still running, despite it being probably years since they've been like properly kept up or repaired, unless Mad Maddie knows a thing or two about machines.
Which seems like she does,
She might.
based on her acquisitions, at least.
But you feel like this room is probably being used, at least in part, to power other parts of the maze.
Does it... It's interesting. So you said magically assisted and there's steam, right?
Correct.
Powering other parts of the maze. Would it be possible to try to trace some of that? Because like you said he tuned into sort of the magic coming from different directions. Would it be possible for him to like narrow down to a specific or group of engines for the direction that they need to be going?
So you want to find out what the engines are powering, what the boilers are kind of connected to?
Yeah, like I'm having the thought process of, well, maybe if we can tamper with the engine that's powering the stuff we haven't encountered yet, we can save ourselves some trouble.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That's a good idea. Because if we could turn off some of the later stuff, easy peasy.
Yeah, you can try and do that. You can either hit me with a tools check or hit me with an arcana. But Ollie, you feel like a tools check would get you to a better spot than the arcana would, because the arcana is more like you tuning in to the magical energies around this place, and that's more of like a general feeling.
Okay. Oh man, what tools?
You could use your wand crafting tools because you use those to deal with magical items, even though they're kind of more meant for wood, I guess.
Sure, because like my tools are split up between like jeweler's tools, leatherworker's tools, smith's tools, and wood carver's tools.
Smith tools would be the most appropriate.
Okay.
You could
And
also direct Heinrich to help you. I'm sure he might know something about steam.
yeah, maybe we can put our heads together on this one. What attribute would you like me to roll with?
You can roll with intelligence.
Okay.
Heinrich, you gonna help out?
Yeah, I'll assist with that.
All right. For advantage,
Go for it.
Yes.
Smith's tools at advantage. Not bad.
So you and Heinrich follow some of these pipes and use both of your expertise in magic and mechanical to find some of these boilers and begin trying to shut them down. Some of them lead downward, some of them lead upward, some of them you're not sure where they go. And you two assume that you're going to be going up. So you start shutting down some of the boilers that lead up towards the ceiling.
Okay.
Excellent.
Do we
Mar-
see anything more up there then?
Marjorie, because you're having Marcus clear the way of traps, have him roll another stealth or perception, whichever.
He doesn't have perception either, so... Because what is perception? Perception is... Is that wisdom?
Yeah.
Oh, it's the same for him, so I'm just gonna... Just have him do a roll. I thought I changed who he was... Oh, I think he's on GM only. I'll change that. He rolled a 17. I'll go to his sheet.
Frustrated at being given a face full of hot steam, Marcus checks the path very thoroughly, and you guys get to where you need to go to start messing with this stuff. And you get to some banks of levers and knobs and pulleys and what have you, and Heinrich works all the mechanical bits, and Ollie, you start working on some of the magical bits. And you can tell that these are magically assisted via the flames. These aren't run by coal or oil or anything like that. It's magical flames keeping them up.
Well, fortunately, I'm quite efficient at ice magic, so I will do some well-targeted ice cantrips.
You start popping off, and Heinrich, you start pulling levers and stuff, and you can see all of these smaller boilers beginning to power down and stop rattling and hissing, and all the pipes next to them calm down a little bit. They stop running hot steam through them, but a bunch of the pipes behind you, they do not stop. And surprisingly, even though you didn't trigger anything, a huge billowing jet of steam just covers the both of you.
Ooh. Uh-oh.
And you both take 6 fire damage.
Oh, yikes.
Ah, back to the single digits.
Yep.
Aramis, you've been on the lookout and especially paranoid. This time, after this surprising disaster, your immediate reaction is to look around in the opposite direction, and you see the flutter of a cape and the silhouette of someone running in the opposite direction very quietly. Swiftly.
He will point it out. His first instinct is to run after it, but he stops himself at the last moment, realizing probably not a good idea. So you guys just see him jerk towards the direction, and then his arm flies up and he points it out. Over there. I saw someone.
Well, he speaks through the pain. Must mean we did something, right?
Most likely.
Perhaps Marcus could use a little help to maybe expedite the process. How do I feel about that idea? Or is he handling things pretty well now?
Checking for traps, you think it's kind of a crapshoot with Marcus. He's not very skilled at this sort of thing.
Okay.
He's skilled at being dead, but not at necessarily
Yeah.
doing stuff.
Okay. He's still learning.
He's great at dying.
He'll be a big ghost one day. I guess I would go help him because our plan.
You have the functional equivalent of the ghost of a gas station attendant. There's not a whole lot exactly he can do in this dangerous situation.
Right. Okay. So I could maybe join him and just help him because what our plan was to just make this room safer to rest in, right?
Yeah, well, I think that's been nixed considering we didn't set that off. So,
Well, she probably manually triggered things. So if we maybe forcibly turn a bunch off, she won't be able to trigger something near us. Was make a little radius of safe space. Know what I mean? Because she won't be able to turn something on if we've literally torn it apart.
worth a shot.
So I would
Is there
go
any-
with Marcus, I guess. Try and help him out, and he could watch my back.
Yeah, sure, if that's what you wanted to do. Just so I understand correctly, your idea is to basically secure the area and make sure that there's no pipes or traps facing inwards, so you guys can get a little resty room.
Yeah, because I think that's what we're looking to take a rest, are we? Just taking.
Yeah, I think we're at the
Yeah.
point where we need to be using some hit dice. I think is
Yeah, just a short rest would be nice.
Okay, so yeah, I'm looking Marcus and whoever else wants to help. I mean, if we put our heads together, we could probably make ourselves a little safe zone.
Is that what you guys want to do?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds correct.
All right, you guys work together and clear an area of the junk and debris and bits of toolboxes and what have you, so you guys can sit down and work out your injuries while others look around for pipes and what have you, and you turn various knobs and throw various switches to keep any of the steam from jetting out directly into you, and you reroute it and make it go somewhere else. You turn off some of them so you can have a decent view down some of the catwalks. And you feel that you make the small area around these deactivated boilers about as safe as it's going to get, given the circumstances.
All right.
And if you want to, you can take your hour.
Yes, have a nice little sit down.
We just all sit back to back, keeping our eyes out in the various directions.
All right, I'm gonna roll a hit dice. I'm not dying, but I am not at full. Of course.
Oh, that bodes well.
Can we use as many as we want on a short rest?
Yeah,
Okay.
you can use up to all of them.
Did that roll? Oh, I got a 5. Okay. Should I not bother rolling for Marcus? Is he just back at full? He only lost 2 HP.
Oh, feel your pain.
Oh yeah, the one. Does Marcus just go back up to full health? Because I don't even know if he has.
I mean, not if he rolls a 1.
What even what is his hit dice? I have his hit points.
Just roll a d6.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Is anyone still extremely hurt? I do have some
Nah, he's golden.
extra healing majigs.
I'm topped off. Also, Madam Black can help out in that regard as well. She does have some per day healings. Hasn't used any yet today. Daisy, how are you looking?
I'm at max.
All right. Heinrich?
I'm close enough for now.
All right. Aramis?
Oh, I'm I'm golden. I was fine even before we rested, but now I'm topped off.
Well, Madam Black is probably going to use one on herself then. Tops
She's
themselves
touching
off.
herself.
Aha! Aha! Oh yeah, Madam Black is kind of miffed. I certainly hope whatever is at the end of this accursed labyrinth is worth all the trouble. Someone did say that she was hiding a treasure, correct?
Well, we know that whoever part of the labyrinth curse is that they built it all up around the things. I think this is where the confusion comes in. I think it's the things or thing that they treasure most, not an actual treasure. But in this instance, we know that Mad Maddie has pilfered something that belongs to Heinrich, his prototype? Pieces of the prototype? Components?
Yes. Things I need to complete it.
Right. Hard to come by, I would imagine, well-machined parts.
Yes, well, hopefully she's a good little pikehead, no offense, Heinrich, and has her people's fanciful nature for gold. Who knows, who might yet come out of this far richer than when we entered.
I admire your optimism. Frankly, I would just like to get out.
One must think ahead, Master Oliver, and grab any opportunities you see on the way.
I was out of character, really tempted to make a short joke.
Oh no.
I ain't gonna stop it.
Oh, he wouldn't say it in character, so I'm not going to say it.
You think it, Ollie.
Oh, he does.
Oh, you think it's so hard. So you guys get through your short rest more or less without incident. Aramis, hit me with another perception check.
Oh, I'll try. Huh? No, I won't. 5s all around.
It's a nice round number. You keep staring off in the direction that you saw that figure. And you keep thinking that you see it again here and there out of the corner of your eye, but when you whip around and like focus harder, it's always just out of your vision. But you feel very strongly that someone has been following you and they're very close by. And that they're here now.
Neat.
So you guys are done with your rest. I assume you continue on.
Indeed.
Yes.
And you are doing the same thing with good old Marcus.
Yeah, except I guess I'll go with him and assist because, then I could actually deactivate things because he's just going to like partially just trigger things. He can't disable them. He can just eat the damage, which he doesn't really have the HP pool for that.
He does not. So you can hit me with either a perception, an investigation, or a stealth, and Marcus can assist you.
Okay, how about we'll do I'm good at a you said was perception one of the options?
Yes,
Yes, I will do that. And I have advantage because he's helping?
correct.
Okay. Doop. Oh, okay. Oh, okay, yay.
Marjorie and Marcus working together let the lot of you get most of the way through this really wacky boiler room filled with all of the creepy little figurines of birds. You guys go up and down various sets of stairs. Some of them you actually have to turn and rotate with wheels and handles. And eventually you get to a very large platform with a whole mess of large boilers around it. And the humming and the hissing is so loud that you guys can barely hear each other talk. You kind of have to yell in order to communicate. And when you guys step onto this platform, you notice that it is especially janky. All right, you notice that it is especially janky. The grating really gives more than it should. The platform sways as if it's suspended by ropes or chains. And when you look to the grating and underneath it, you can see a bunch of pipes leading down, and you're not sure what's down there, but whatever it is very cold. And it looks like as you walk along the grating, a bunch of stuff is falling off the bottom, and you're pretty sure it's ice.
Ice. Interesting.
Well, I'd rather that to steam in the face any day.
True.
So there's a bunch of ice forming down there, you said? Do I feel like this might be ghost related? Possibly not, considering where I met her ghost. Or is this probably something unrelated?
It'd be with either a perception or investigation if you want to like get down on your hands and knees and take a closer look.
Oh, my bad. I forgot to turn advantage off.
Roll again.
Roll it again. Perception. Okay. 22.
It's very difficult to see underneath you. You feel like you're looking at a bunch of chains hanging down from further down, like behind the pipes leading downwards, and you think you see the glint of either a sword or some armor, and sort of the outline of a figure slumped against a wall. But it's like it's pretty decently far down, so it's hard to see.
I'm wondering if this platform moves and is like a lift of some kind.
Either that or by design, it's supposed to like just dump you down in this hole, and then, you smash against a bunch of pipes and take a ton of damage.
Yeah.
That would be my first guess, but I also think that maybe it needs to go down by design. We're not sure. Haven't
Yeah,
really
maybe the
messed
up
with
the
it.
wizard tower is
Oh,
not the actual direction we want to be going.
maybe.
All right, so you guys are on this platform, and there is another windy staircase leading up on the opposite side. And when you are making your way across the platform to the staircase, Aramis, sort of up and to your left, you can see there is there's a platform that forms a little bit of a balcony, and you can see a bunch of the smaller pipes are leading towards it, and you can see like a bunch of levers and stuff sticking out of it, and some of the pipes have valves and little wheels on them. And you can see a hooded figure very quickly kind of run up to it and begin like pulling on shit and twisting stuff.
He will draw his pistol and yell out, "Stop what you are doing! I do not wish to have to shoot you. Please, let us talk."
Ollie's wand is now drawn in the same direction.
I imagine I'm like kind of. Am I on the. Did I have to get on the platform to look down?
You're already on the platform, but yes.
Okay. Oh, are we all on the platform already?
Yes, you were busy
Okay.
traversing it.
Okay. Yes. All right. Well, I grab the railing.
All right. Aramis, you whip out your piece and point it at the figure. And you can tell that they're holding on to something. You're not sure if it's like a lever or a valve or whatever, but they've got a sort of a purple hood and like a purple cloak with a greenish looking generic clothes and robes. And you can see them shake their head, and They use one hand to pull the hood from over their heads, and you recognize who this is. This is Valeria.
The dancing, spinning.
Modeste's sister.
Oh, shit.
We gasp.
Le gasp.
Yeah, right. We all just audibly gasp. Modesta's with us.
Yeah.
What does he say?
Valeria, you're here! You came to help! And she gets the
He's so
angry
precious.
eyebrows. She gets the angry eyebrows, and she says, "No, Modeste, I am not here to help you. Although I think you could say that I am here to help the family. I am sorry that all of you had to get mixed up in this. But I'm afraid I must look to my family's future first. For what it is worth, I am very impressed how far you all made it. This place is a real death trap."
Is this about your mother? I am very sorry, but she came on to me.
Marjorie like chokes on herself. Aramis, I have a feeling this is a little more about past family matters.
Her eye kind of twitches, and she says, "No, but it does make it easier." And she pulls a switch or flips a lever. You're not sure what she does, but you hear a metallic ka-chung, and all of the gratings and floor beneath you swings open, and all of you fall.
I'm hanging onto the railing. Am I able to cling? Because I made the decisive moment to grab the railing instead.
Yeah, you did grab the railing, but yeah, you can hang on to the railing briefly.
Okay, I'll wait for everyone. Or am I able to do something while she's doing that or trying to do that?
Something that you can do in like a split second.
A spell. Perhaps. I don't know. Do I not have time to do that?
Depends. Is it an instant spell?
Duration 1 round. 1 action.
No, you do not have an entire action.
Okay. All right.
She had an hour to prepare this.
Okay, yeah. So I'll just cling to the railing and try and do it whenever I have a chance. So go ahead. Continue whatever everyone else has to do.
All of you hit me with either an acrobatics or an athletics.
Not great.
Do I
But a
have
good roll.
any bonus for hanging onto the railing?
Well, right now you're hanging onto the railing. You haven't fallen yet.
Oh, do I have to make
Oh
the
wow,
save?
holy crap. All right, all you guys hilariously passed the save.
Daisy's parental instincts
I
have
guess
kicked in
I
or something.
probably don't. I assume I had to roll.
There are a bunch of pipes and chains and what have you, and all of you kind of try and grasp and hold on to them as best you can, but you basically slow your descent to the point where when you land on solid ground again, all of you only take 1 damage.
I activate my flying machine. I don't want to take that 1 damage.
I got a nat 20. This feels deeply unfair.
Well, it could be worse, Daisy. Heinrich, you can activate your flying machine and avoid the 1 damage, but there are so many chains and like small pipes hanging out that you feel very uncomfortable trying to like fly back up. You feel like you could do it, but it would take you a while. Like you would have to deactivate it and reactivate it after you clear certain parts. You guys basically fall in between floors.
Ooh.
Oh, so we're like almost in like a sub basement or a basement level now?
Yeah, more or less.
Because we went up. Well, we've gone up about 2 stories, maybe 3.
You've gone up quite a ways, but Marjorie, you're still hanging on to the banister.
Oh, okay. Oh, I'm still up there.
And
Okay.
Valeria says, "Don't make me poke you off of this."
Can I? Ooh.
Which one of these switches works the railing? She starts clicking stuff.
I. Ooh, what do I want to say for this one? Because then she could just do it again, depending on what I tell her. Because I was going to try and use command on her. But I'm debating what I want the command to be. Do I want her to fix the platform I'm on so I can just sprint across? Because right now it's like a ramp right now, right? That leads into the pit.
Ramp. It's a pit.
Oh, the floor just
There's-
fell away. Well, I'm just trying to figure out like what
It's a bunch of the parts of the platform were on hinges, and they just opened up and dropped to you.
Oh, okay.
like
So
a-
I'm just like clinging to
floor-
just a pole.
A floor made out of trapdoors, basically.
Okay. I'm trying to think of, do you guys have any idea for what command would be? I could just command her to leave, but then I'm still stuck hanging here.
Or freeze.
Well, because I think it only lasts a round, unfortunately, which is what, how many seconds?
6 seconds.
6.
That's it. Yeah, I need something where she's gonna like run away. I could just tell her to run away. Run. Well, it has to be one word.
Flee.
Yeah, flee.
Flee is good.
Or I could just
Okay.
slam her with the dissonant whispers, and then she has to run away and can't approach me for this round. Which do you guys think is better? Because one's a wisdom save and one's a... Oh, they're both wisdom saves.
I feel like Dissonant Whispers would give you more time.
Because then she has to move 30 feet away. That, if she fails. Okay. Yeah, am I able to slam her with the dissonant whispers? It's about 60-foot range.
You can try.
I can try. All right. So yeah, that's on a hit. Let me look at the spell. Okay. All right. Yeah, and it's a wisdom save. Ooh, advantage. Oh, I mean,
You
she
can tell
passes.
that Modest's sister is resistant to magical effects.
Okay. Yeah, it just whiffs right by her and slams into the wall behind her and sizzles ominously.
Do I have like a line of sight on where she is?
You do not. You hurl a spell at her, Marjorie, and she leans over and dodges it, and her eyebrows kind of shoot up, and she grimaces a little bit. She goes, there it is, and she pulls another switch, and the bars that you are hanging onto all pop and drop off, and you fall as well.
She yeah.
Who catches Marjorie?
If any.
I can, because I got the speed.
Oh, the flying.
Yup.
Oh yeah, you totally can. Marjorie, you tumble past all the pipes and chains that everybody else did. You end up getting action movie hero caught by Heinrich.
And she kind of sighs as she tries to cling. Like, for future reference, magic is not very good against her. She kind of
Well, that's
looks
my whole
up.
bag of tricks.
And she says, I missed, and I thought I was going to hit her. She kind of grumbles as I assume we land among the rest of the group. And she'll just kind of frown upwards. But now I assume the body that I spied from above is close.
Yeah, you guys take a look around, and all of the chains that are hanging from various metal beams and stuff, they are hanging all over the place. There's a ton of them, and they all have hooks on them. And you can see some of the desiccated remains of what look like haunches of meat. The floor looks to be stone or concrete, and the walls all have some kind of metal plating on them, and it is very, very cold. You guys seem to be in some kind of meat locker.
Modest, what was she talking about?
I don't know. I have no idea why she is doing this. There must be some kind of mistake. Maybe she's trying to help us. She's never really been good at explaining her feelings.
Modest, she dropped us into a meat locker from quite a ways up. She has done this to many people. I'm beginning to wonder, I think she is Mad Maddie. Or at least working with her.
Madam Black is like brushing herself off and pulling herself up, and she says, "Oh, please, darling. You all can't be this naive. She is the elder sister, is she not, boy?" "Well, yes, don't call me boy also, seems kind of weird." "Well, it's clear what she's trying to do. She's trying to kill you to take your place." "Pfft, what? No, Valerio, she would never do this."
Gestures vaguely at everything around them.
"Indeed, Master Oliver. Though I have only known her for several minutes, I believe this is fully within her character."
And so
I know
far,
that hungry look in her eyes.
I would unfortunately agree. This is very troublesome, and your brother was not exactly happy with how things are going either. Surprisingly,
My
compared
little
to
brother is not
family.
happy about anything. It is just his way.
Least of all your betrothal, Ollie says under his breath.
Yaraplet kind of pats Modest on the shoulder. "My friend, you are very, very murderable." "What is that supposed to mean? It means that you are easy to kill." And it's just, he kind of gives him a tiny little shake. "I kind of want to murder you too. Sometimes, not all the time. Stop looking at me." He walks away.
Yarrow. Yeah, Marjorie scolds him a little bit.
Nadia is just in the background. He's out of line, but he is correct.
Right.
He's a little
Yeah.
confused, but he got the spirit.
Right.
I
Marjorie.
think they have something, what is the term? Romance?
Who?
Yaroplek and Modeste.
Ugh, Marjorie physically shudders. She's like, oh. Hey,
Yaraplet gets the angry eyebrows. Stop it! It's gross!" And Modeste just kind of shrugs and nods. "It wouldn't be the first time." He combs his hair.
we must take this seriously, though, Modest. It seems one of your family members is determined to have what has been, well, as your parents' heir. She wants it. It is a tale as old as time. It is in many popular stories back at home.
He shakes his head. No. "Valeria, she is my sister. She is family. She would never try to kill me."
I
Oh,
look
that she
back up.
just did.
Yeah, how many stories did we just fall?
Like 2.
Yeah, she's like, that, if we had fallen wrong, that would have easily snapped our necks.
Yeah, perhaps so, but, this it is a normal thing to happen in families like this. The sibling rivalries.
She shrugs. It does not matter. You will see. Yeah, unfortunately, you will see for yourself. We must get out of this situation. I look around. Is the body that I spied earlier now at level?
Yes, you get a good look at it, too. It is
Yeah.
very obviously a body.
Mm-hmm.
It looks to be a skeleton with a bunch of paladin armor on. that is encased in ice.
She sighs and she sadly walks over. And she'll look her over and start. She'll. Does she have a bag or something like she had said about the journal?
Oh yeah, she's it looks like all of her items are in perfect condition and the skeleton has been picked clean down to the bone.
Oh.
She's got herself a bag, she's got herself a sword. Or no, I'm sorry, she has herself a morning star.
Okay. I look around. Is her spirit nearby?
No, it is not.
Can I try and invoke her? Like I say, what her name was, Electra, I think. And I'll just whisper it to her body. Or is she just probably stuck outside? Well, she has no idea how this works. She'll whisper her name to the body.
Yeah, it was Paladin Electra.
Yeah, Electra. She'll whisper. She'll wait to see if something happens, or if her spirit shows up.
You hear the soft, echoey whisper after a few moments. Yes, it was here.
We have found you, and have fallen into the trap that you did. What killed you? She kind of looks at the body, like, because it looks like she's been nibbled clean, right?
Yes, her bones are totally clean and white underneath all the ice.
Okay.
Hold on a sec.
Yeah, sure. She's like wondering, oh man, do we have to worry about something else down here? I imagine in the background everyone's like arguing and trying to convince Modest that everyone's trying to murder him.
Yeah.
Yeah, Modeste is convinced that she does not intend to kill him. He just views this as a sibling rivalry, and you all discover that she has done this multiple times before.
What,
my
tried
God.
to kill him?
Very blatantly tried to kill him, yes.
He's just in denial. All right.
Traps, ambushes, sabotage, all sorts of stuff, and he views them as harmless pranks.
Oh no, he's stupid.
Yeah, man.
I'm not sure if he's like completely stupid, maybe more like in denial.
You can hit me with the insight if you want to.
Yeah, sure. I want to insight that because it's like, really, guy? Really? All right, 22. All right.
Well, you're over here talking to this ghost, Heinrich. Do you want to insight this?
Well, from
Sure.
back when we were talking to, but yeah, go ahead.
I'm great at insight.
Yeah, both of you can tell that he is mostly in denial, almost entirely in denial, but you feel like he doesn't want to believe she would do this to him.
Right.
And so he doesn't. You feel like Modest is very used to just doing what he wants. And so since he doesn't want to believe that his family is like this, he refuses to and then doesn't.
I thought I had a rocky relationship with my siblings.
No, every family has its arguments and disagreements. I think Valeria could lighten up a little bit, and she does not want me to be the head of the family when my parents perish. Kind of makes a seesaw motion with his hands, give and take. Well, Marjorie, you're over here with the ghost of Paladin Electra, and she says, no, I did not fall. I came from outside, and the door shut behind me. Something was here, something gold. I do not remember. But it looks like everything I had still remains.
Would it be all right with you if we took it? Took whatever we could possibly use?
If it helps you survive and end this madness, you may do with it what you wish.
I will be sure
Ah,
to send whatever I can home to your family.
yes, I think. It is difficult to remember.
She nods, and she'll grab the bag first.
Well, her entire body is encased in ice.
Oh, it's encased in. I thought it was just covered in like frost.
No, it's
Oh, she's ice
encased
cubed.
in ice. Yes.
Okay, she's ice cubed. Okay. Oh, Marjorie's rubbing her hands together. She's already suffering in here.
Marjorie, don't touch that ice.
What? She like jumps. What? Uh,
If
she
the body's
beckons.
picked clean, right?
Just of flesh. She still has her items with her. She kind of gestures.
Ollie is looking around the room for anywhere that one of these could hide, and I'm whispering you in I'm whispering you. If I could type correctly, that would be great.
All of you guys have plenty of time to look around the room. Yeah. Oh, am I so predictable?
Well,
guys...
I think it plays the character well because he's like, ooh, trivia. Wait.
You guys look around the room and you see a very big, obvious vault door. It has a bunch of gears on it and a mechanism that is obviously intended to be opened from the outside, but you guys feel that if you tinker with it, you'll be able to open it from the inside. But it will probably take a couple people, at least one person with some muscle on them, to try and wrench this thing open, because you can tell that it also is like frozen shut. The door is kind of frosted closed a little bit as well.
Yeah, Marjorie, I'd back away from that ice quickly.
But Ollie,
Back
you
away a little.
you take a look around and you have this conversation with Marjorie, and Marjorie, you start backing up from the ice, and Ollie, when she does, you can see the ice around the paladin skeleton begin to rise and take the shape of an ooze.
Yeah, she sighs like,
That's what I thought.
I should have guessed with all the oozes in the ale room.
Yeah,
It
picked clean, but
squishes.
items left. Dead giveaway.
It squishes forth an arm and tries to grab Marjorie, but she scrambles out of the way just in time.
And it's an ice ooze or frost ooze?
It's a slush.
It's a slush. That's true. I wonder what it doesn't like. Okay. Frost or ice? I wonder. Am I able to attack it?
Oh man, you can certainly try. It's making its way towards you guys, slowly and oozily.
Okay. I was maybe gonna thunder wave it. What do you guys think?
Yeah, you do that. I'm gonna focus on the door. None of my stuff really works against it.
Yeah, since it's like right in front of me, I'm gonna blast it with a thunder wave.
Well, it fails.
Okay, so how much? Here, I'm looking it up real quick. Because it is 2d8 thunder damage, and it will push it 10 feet away.
Helpful.
I mean, I might be able to keep it in one spot, but I don't think I'll be able to damage it.
I almost thought it was double ones for a second because the 7 was upside down. So I thought
Yeah.
it was a 1. So to be like,
Yeah.
really? So, okay. 8 thunder damage, and it gets pushed 10 feet away.
You watch it slide backwards like a melty snowball, and it kind of jiggles uncomfortably, but shakes it off and begins to move forward yet again.
Can I try to Ray of Frost it? I don't think it'll do damage, but just to keep it in place.
You can definitely try.
One way to find out, I suppose. Don't whisper that. Does a 14 hit?
It does.
And speed is reduced by 10 feet.
Ollie, I have some terrible news.
Ah, gross.
You throw a ray of frost directly into it, and it bulges and glows blue slightly. But it does slow down somewhat.
Let me give it a try. Aramis will load one of his red cartridges and steady aim. Take a shot.
Believe it or not, a 10 is what you need to hit this thing.
Okay. And then plus 1d4 fire.
You can tell it doesn't like that. It doesn't like the fire. It's
Oh.
it bubbles it and melts it slightly, and it kind of grumbles, but still keeps oozing towards all of you guys. This time, super slowly.
Get someone on that door.
Yeah, is somebody getting on that door?
Yeah, I'll try and get it open.
You said strength was needed?
Yes, because the door is frozen shut in a lot of cases. There's a lot of frost around the edges.
Oh,
Madam Black
and
will
in the
try
middle.
with that.
never
We'll
mind
try to help
then.
with that.
I I am not the strength one.
No, but you're an engineer. He said it needed to be like...
Like, there's a mechanism that needs to be worked on as well.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. Madam Black can work on breaking away some of the ice.
Yeah, hit me with a tools check, Heinrich, and then Madam Black can hit me with either an athletics or just a strength check.
Nat 20 from Madam Black.
All right, Heinrich, you get to work on this mechanism. You start clearing it off and trying to make sense of it. It's a little bit damaged, you can tell, because a whole mess of the parts are dinged up. And you kind of look over towards the paladin's skeleton, and you notice that she had a morning star, and you think she tried to bash her way out, which has messed up some of the mechanicals. And so you're going to have to take some parts out and then put them back in. And while you are doing this, Madam Black is just going, nope, 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 I'm out of here, not fighting another one of these, absolutely not! And she is taking her shield and her weapons and just bashing at all the frost and ice, and she is, in one turn, almost completely done loosening up the ice around the door.
Ooh.
What about Daisy? What's Daisy doing?
Just remember, don't cut it, whatever you do.
Aw. I really don't have a spell for this. You know what? Some insects can eat this. It's like a slushie. They'll enjoy it. Everybody likes a slushie, even the insects.
The bugs are very cold, but they do get to work. And you can tell that the slush is trying to, like, poop them out.
It gets moved north. I don't know which way north is down here, but it gets moved that way.
Okay. It gets moved parallel to you guys. It gets moved slightly closer to Ozzy, but away from Marjorie.
Okay. Who else has to go? We got a bunch of NPCs that could go too. Oh, Marcus won't be very useful here. I just realized.
He would be detrimental.
Yes, so he's not gonna mark it. That's for sure. Yeah, I don't think he can do it. And Marjorie had her turn already. So, since Marcus has been able to like trigger some things, can he pass through the vault door and maybe try and mess with something on the other side to make Heinrich's life easier?
Yes.
Yeah, since he can't help with the fight.
You send Marcus to the other side of the door, and Heinrich he floats past you. I'll go on the other side and see if I can try to open it. Stop looking at me, and he goes to the other side, and you can feel him tugging on the mechanism on the other side, and you feel like it'll be somewhat helpful, like when you start getting all this stuff back together. And so next time you get to roll with advantage.
Nice.
So I mean, you guys have slowed down the slush, but it is still making its way towards you, and there's still work that needs to be done on the door.
Whose turn's left this round? I would
All
also
of you
move
guys
away
have gone.
from it. Okay.
Yeah, all of you guys have gone.
Okay. Anyone else left?
So yeah, NPC.
The NPCs.
Okay.
And Nadia chooses to use violin.
Use the violin. Yeah, she very wisely uses a ranged weapon. And that hits.
Alrighty. For 7.
It slaps grossly into the flesh, not flesh, of the ooze, and it kind of undulates unpleasantly.
Like that word.
You, good, I'm glad. You figure that did something to it that it didn't like.
Good. Alright, who's next?
Yeah, let's go.
Modest will pew pew.
Hey, he actually hits.
All right, I think this is the first time.
I'm so proud of him.
Practically a stationary target.
Yeah, kind of, but he does hit and it does do damage. A bunch of the slush sizzles away at the touch of the radiant bolt. I don't know why you guys are so judgmental. Don't you have any siblings? You've never quarreled with them before?
Yeah, doesn't usually end in a death trap.
Usually? He gives you the eye.
Never.
Marjorie actually puts up a finger and pauses. I am an only child, but I do have cousins. Is that the... No, yeah, I could see Inez doing horrible things. She kind of thinks about that for a minute.
I don't know what it is about you, Heinrich, but I don't believe you.
We often do not get along, but doubt if we have ever attempted to murder each other.
Besides, this isn't a death trap. We're fine. It was a death trap before she got here.
Doesn't mean she didn't use it on you.
Well, I mean, she used it on all of us. You know, it spreads out the damage.
You're a part of all of us.
Ugh. Playing the blame game? Very immature.
Are we back at the top of the round now?
Yaroplex still has to go.
Yeah.
There's something I could do, but it could also potentially make our situation worse.
Sounds like it's something we should do then.
How gambling? Are we feeling like a gambling gang?
If need be, I can handle it. I would prefer not to, but I could handle it if I needed to.
Let's just say theoretically it could double our troubles.
I just remembered what it is. I completely forgot about that. Excellent.
Do it.
I still think I could.
Okay. Yaroplek is going to be like, "Oh, guys, I don't feel so good," and he's going to like stumble towards the ooze, and he is going to vomit onto the ooze.
Oh, guys, I know we're kind of in the middle of something right now, but I think I need to barf. And you all watch as he upchucks an entire ale ooze.
Huh.
Ooze slap fight.
This is indeed an ooze slap fight. They both immediately begin fighting each other.
Did we just dropped into the set of Flubber?
Yeah, pretty much.
No, don't want.
Hey, at least it's a distraction.
Oh yeah, are they gonna fight each other? Are they like Pokemon
They-
now?
They are indeed fighting each other.
Oh, Yaroplek uses ale ooze. Ale ooze, hopefully super effective.
His ass! You slurpy pseudopod!
Hey, alcohol has a really, really low freezing point.
You guys keep like looking back and forth as Heinrich and Madame Black are working on the door, and you look over back to Yaroplek, who's like throwing empty liquor bottles at them. It's like, oh, you need the potion! Here, use X attack!
Oh my gosh.
But eventually, Heinrich, with the help of Madame Black and with Marcus on the other side of the door, and with this ooze fight, you put this all this stuff back together in the mechanism, and you wrench open the door wide enough for you guys to try and escape.
Hooray.
Alright, let me know when it's our turn.
Oh, I mean, it's your guys' turn, yeah.
Because if we plan to flee, Marjorie plans on skirting around this thing and grabbing Electra's stuff, or as much of it as she can grab. She'd like to grab the bag and maybe her weapon.
If you want to grab her bags and her weapon, you can do so.
Yes, Marjorie will. That she uses her turn for that. She swoops in, and does she have anything else, or are those like the big items?
Her armor, probably, but
There is her armor, and there is also her signet ring, which
Oh.
shines and sparkles.
Okay. So how much can I grab this round?
The bag, her morning star, and the signet ring. You feel you will need assistance grabbing the armor.
Okay, so I'll put on her bag, and I put, the chain of the morning star over my shoulder. Probably like loop it with the bag just for now, and then quickly slip off her signet ring. And do we have anyone who can wear heavy armor? I think Aramis.
Yes.
You?
Yes, he is wearing heavy armor.
Actually, yeah, she'll shout to Aramis, assistance. And she like beckons you over, and she like
Hey,
is
we'll
pulling
run
at the
over and help.
armor. Yeah. She is not using
Alright.
it anymore, and she'll just help you start pulling at it.
Aramis, you have no problem picking up this armor and shaking all the bones out of it. It is a nice breastplate with some little hip pieces and what have you. You can tell it is of decent quality, but it seems very heavy.
All right. He will do his best to help gather it.
Ooh, and it's got a cloak on it too. And Marjorie, you pick up the bags and you pick up the Morning Star, and with the Morning Star, you can tell that this is too heavy for you to wield. You feel like this is meant for a very strong person.
Oh yeah, she's just carrying it for now, because if none of us can use it, she would like to send it back to the family. That's expensive. So we'll see. But yeah, she drapes it over her shoulders for now because she is, as you say, far too noodly to wield.
But yes, as far as the fight between the slimes go, it is pretty obvious that the ale ooze is losing. The slush is basically freezing it solid almost, and it's putting up a fight. It's doing some damage, but the slush is beginning to speed up, and it is still making its way towards you guys as you mess with the doorway, mess with the vault door. But as I said, Heinrich has opened it enough for you guys to start squeezing through.
You know, if the ooze fight keeps going, we're going to get a frozen margarita at the end of this.
If you play your cards right. Are you escaping, or are you gonna do something else? Because Marjorie and Aramis basically have everything they came here for.
Oh, okay, yeah. If I don't know if we're able to flee, do we get another round to flee in, or do we have to wait?
I mean,
next
most
round?
of us haven't taken our
Yeah.
turns yet this round.
Oh, yeah,
The
yeah.
oozes are like distracted in the door.
Oh,
so
okay.
you guys
Oh, we
can
freaking book it.
escape at the first opportunity.
Yeah,
Yes.
let's do it and close the door behind us. Just let the oozes have at it.
Mm-hmm. Well, one of those oozes is eating good.
You guys pull Yaraplek out last, and he reaches out his hand. I'll let you. I'll release you back into the wild. Be free. And you slam the door behind you guys, and you see Marcus take the little wheel that is on the other side of the vault door. He gives it a big old spin and chucks it closed. Just, whew, that was a lot of work.
Thank you, Marcus.
Wiping sweat off his brow.
Yarplek!
Is he actually
Ow.
sweating?
He's sweating ghost sweat. Yaraplek puts his hand on your shoulder, Ali. He says, I will explain everything. First of all, he barfs all over your shirt.
Oh.
He, almost barfs himself and then just, quickly prestidigitates.
Chain reaction barf.
I hope this helped you out. And he faceplant.
Oh. Marjorie just kind of stares at Yara like, yes, this tracks. Now that we're safe on this side of the wall, Marjorie will actually is anyone? She kind of looks around at the party members and then the NPCs. Could somebody use a morning star for now? It would be nice to maybe eventually give back to the deceased's family. But
Madam Black's probably one of the only people who could.
yeah.
Show of hands, who here has 14 or more strength?
Madam
Not
Black.
it. Yeah, Madam Black. Does Nadia have strength? Or no?
Exactly 14.
So she could.
She's a sword person, though.
Oh, okay. If that's her specialty, then yeah.
It's kind of what it seems like so far, anyways.
I mean, she's got the longsword right now. That's been working pretty good.
Okay. I'd offer it to Black with the expectation that should we come across something better, I would like to send it back to their family. Depending, on what happens. And then she'll unshoulder the bag and start rifling through Electra's things.
Ooh, what kind of thing?
Well, whatever she's got in her bag. Well, because Marjorie does not mention her by name because would be a little weird if she went announcing that yet. So she she looks for, because she remembers she mentioned a journal. And she looks to see if she has anything else of interest in the bag.
Yeah, because you guys empty out into another series of like makeshift hallways and stuff, and you feel safe for now.
Marjorie will steal a moment to start rifling through Electra's things, and she's like looking over her shoulder periodically. Yeah, because she's not sure if like Electra's gonna like be around or if she's just gone, or she doesn't know how this works.
You feel like Electra's very weak spiritually, so she's not really around unless you like super duper call her and need her.
Right, okay. Just looking for that journal for sure that she had mentioned.
Yes, she's got a journal with a bunch of papers, a bunch of her orders from the church, and a bunch of notes on Sergeant Maddie Haas. She's even got a blurry photograph of her.
Oh, what'd she look like?
She looks to be sort of an older seeming drow woman. She was a sergeant in the Alfaxmos military, and she was even assigned to a zeppelin.
Do I recognize her at all?
Yeah, I will read some of the details out loud.
You read it out loud, and Heinrich, she seems very familiar to you. You're pretty sure she wasn't on the zeppelin that you served on, but you're fairly certain she served in the Zeppelin Corps. She was probably a grenadier. Because you look at her face and she's not someone you would have known, but you knew of her because there weren't a whole lot of grenadiers that served on Zeppelin.
Okay.
Like maybe a few thousand, like low thousand.
Okay.
But you flip through the pages and you find that she was listed as missing. Missing in action just after the Coalition War.
So she's been missing for a few years now.
I mean, it probably took her a few years to do all of this.
I suppose. Maybe she went missing when she contracted the illness? I guess we don't really have a timeline for that. We still don't even really know how you get this illness, this curse.
You also notice that a bunch of the papers have like the black ink on them to indicate they have been redacted or censored. At least parts of these reports were top secret of some kind.
May
And you're not a... What's up?
Might have been on the Zeppelin that attacked here and got sick during that, because that was right at the end of the war.
That was after the Coalition War, and it would indeed line up with the timeline of her disappearance.
Oh, so she just got left behind, maybe?
If, depending on how quick this affects you, she might have just wandered off and never came back. Because I don't think we ever figured out how quick you get
No.
symptoms.
We don't. We didn't.
Yeah, it is unknown.
All right. Flip through some more pages, see if there's anything useful to know.
There are a bunch of notes that the paladin took because it would appear that she took a different route through the maze and she saw things that you guys didn't see. And it looks like her findings are that the good sergeant is waiting to be relieved. She is obsessed with the military and the Alfaxmos. She's like hyper fixated on it. And she believes that whatever is at the center of the maze has something to do with her history in the military. But most importantly, what she seems to really want is to be relieved of her duties. Apparently, she's been writing on the floors and walls.
Alrighty.
Yeah. Marjorie reads that part out loud. So, should we encounter her, perhaps we can tell her her service is complete. She may retire. She shrugs. Coming from Heinrich, that would be believable, perhaps. I'm sure you
That
have
sounds plausible.
numbers to
Oh.
give her.
Paladin Electra even wrote down some of the scribbles in her journal, and you can read them. One need not be a chamber to be haunted. One need not be a house. The brain has corridors surpassing this material place. And you flip through the pages some more, and the paladin has written down some notes at one point saying that she recognizes some of the litanies that the sergeant is writing on the walls. She's replacing the signs and gods and the prayers and replacing them with the Kaiser. It's like she's worshiping him like a god.
Oh no.
Marcus is reading over your shoulder and he says, so not too much different from reality.
This is true. It is common, from what I have heard, that he is held in very high regard.
High regard, yes, but not as a deity.
And Marjorie shrugs. There are plenty of rumors. But, I wonder what this poem, or phrase, or part of a song, or something. I wonder what she means by that. Some of it feels obvious, but it is hard to tell. I doubt she is particularly sane presently.
No.
I mean, at this point, it's hard to tell how much of this is the sergeant and how much of this is Valeria.
I do not
Or
think
was
she
this just,
wrote any of these things. I think what is in the book is Maddie. The paladin came here for some time ago. Do I know? Does she have dates in her journal about when she was here? Like, I don't need
She has
exact,
very
but
few, but yes. The paladin has been here dead for months.
yeah, Marjorie would mention the dates and that she highly doubts Valori is in cahoots with Maddie. I feel like with
Crime of
with Va-
opportunity.
yes, Valerie is likely the person Aramis has been seeing follow us and decided to swoop when the swooping was good.
She
Makes sense why she didn't know how to use most of the machines.
but she didn't know how they worked. That is curious.
We did give her an hour to get ahead of us.
This is true. We rested. She taps the notebook. Is this everything that I get out of it?
Everything of value, sure.
Okay. Yeah, she'll tuck it back into Electra's sack. I assume there's nothing really else of. Is there anything else a note in her pack or not really?
There were the orders given to her by the church.
Okay, yeah, what they say.
Apparently, the High Cleric of Genna wanted her to go and investigate the rumors of a terrible magical disease that you identify from the symptoms of what you guys now know as the labyrinth curse. Because they've heard rumors of it before, but they know almost nothing about it. And what they wanted her to try and do was to capture somebody with the disease and bring them back for study.
In unfortunate situations that she settled on, perhaps is the most dangerous one.
Surely there's.
At the same time, probably one of the perceived easier ones, since Maddie seems to be the only one that will leave the labyrinth.
Well, perhaps she
You
believed
feel
she
like
could convince her.
you feel like that's a safe bet. But she might have heard that Mad Maddie was the only person to leave their labyrinth, so that's the one she went after.
Right, and like she thought that maybe she could at the very least maybe convince her or trick her into leaving.
From what you read in the journal, you feel like that's the most likely situation.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, she'll fold. Yeah, she'll fold everything up and put it back in the bag and put it over her shoulder. She'll put the ring, the signet ring, in the bag too. And I gave Black the mace or the Morning Star.
Mm-hmm.
And Aramis has the armor. I assume we're able to pause long enough. Oh yeah, we check out the armor. How is it? Is it an improvement to his current stuff?
It could be. It is +1 half plate.
Whoa.
Definitely better.
Oh, okay. I
I'm
assume
wearing
it's
regular
styled
chain
different.
now.
Marjorie kind of looks at it, and again, I am not sure if we will be keeping it, if her family would expect it, but I think she would want us to use it to get out of here.
If you or anyone is familiar with putting on armor, I can take the time and do that now.
Marjorie
I'll help him
shrugs.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a bunch of people. A bunch of the NPCs no armor. So the AC is 15 +1, and you get a max of +2 from your dex.
Yes, I dragged and dropped. That's a whole +2 to my AC.
All right.
Went from 16 to 18.
You're the tank now.
Wait, I used to have the highest AC? Oh no.
Not in an instance, but yes.
More or less.
Oh, but yeah, while people are distracted helping Aramis into his armor, Marjorie shudders a little bit and she'll put her hand into her pocket and turn away from the group and draw a card out of her pocket. She kind of looks at it and cringes. I don't know if Daisy's like never taking her eyes off Marjorie again. I think since you're probably watching Marjorie a lot, she would like, while everyone's distracted helping Aramis into his armor, she like does a little shudder and she reaches into her pocket and she draws another card.
Oh, okay.
And
Daisy would notice, but does not care. Daisy is angry at the moment.
oh, okay.
Somebody threatened Modeste. She's unhappy.
Threatened her precious baby.
Yes, she threatened her baby. She's unhappy.
Yeah, so I guess the card drawing probably goes unnoticed then.
Yara Pluck notices.
Mm. I
Yeah, but
notice
what
if
is
he
Yarp
notices?
do about it?
Yeah, I thought he was on the floor face down.
When you look over to him, he's got one of his eyes wide open, and he like shuffles back so that he's facing the floor again.
She quickly.
Stop looking at me!
Stop looking at me!
Stop throwing tarot cards.
Shh! Yeah, she violently hushes him. And like she Just has to like she just kind of hides it
You
in her
shush, and
palm.
Ollie looks up from helping Aramis and Heinrich.
She squeaks and quickly turns away.
Stop looking at me!
You know you're up, like saying that will bring more attention to yourself.
But
Heinrich doesn't even look over, he just says that over his shoulder.
oh, but I imagine once we're done helping Aramis into his new shiny stuff, we'll continue on and keep an eye and ear out for Valeria.
Yeah,
Or
that's probably for the
Valeri.
best.
Is it Valeri or Valeria?
Valeria.
Valeria, okay. I didn't know if I was just adding the because it felt natural.
Nope, it's Valeria. At least that's what my notes say.
Same.
All right, looking ahead through the vault exit, what do we see? I think we just kind of rushed out of the door and then sat for a second. Didn't really look at the way forward.
Well, we had to get out of the freezing.
Mm-hmm. Freezer. Meat locker.
So you guys help Aramis into his new armor,
Mm-hmm.
and it feels old and warm, yet comfortable, like an old tennis shoe.
Gross.
Yeah, a little bit. So, well, especially because it just came out of a skeleton. So you guys continue on through these hallways. It is like a McDonald's play place made out of trash. You very frequently have to crawl and reach and lean over and squat. Whoever is leading the way, hit me with a perception or an investigate or a stealth check.
Okay. I got you.
I can be towards the front and help. Ah, no, you don't even need it.
23. Yeah, Marjorie hates trash and hates all the garbage and dirty stuff, so she is being very
He hates
careful.
McDonald's.
Yeah, she hates McDonald's. Oh, like gross. No, never. No. A chain food restaurant? No. We're sit down only, baby.
Peasant food? No.
Yeah, no.
Wow. To eat off of paper? Ugh.
How
We have it
novel.
served on plates.
Yeah, it has to be plates. There has to be at least 6 pieces of silverware. Like, no, we ain't playing.
Gotta be at least 3 courses.
Mm-hmm.
So you go through all of the twists and turns, avoiding all of the pitfalls and saw blades and all sorts of nasty gizmos set out before you. Until eventually you find a steep staircase headed up, and you almost missed it. Because it's somewhat hidden through a weird optical illusion in the wall. And when you climb up into it, you realize that it's like a little hidey hole used by Mad Maddie. It is filled with some food and supplies and water. And it's got a couple of items here and there as well. And of course, it is covered with chalk and ink writing all over the wood paneled walls.
Of course. What's the writing say?
You see a bunch of references to stockpiling for the Kaiser. She keeps repeating that she needs more. Something about an inevitable battle, and that the Kaiser is going to need all the help he can get. And also this. The only ghost I ever saw was dressed in fine lace sew. He wore no sandal on his foot and stepped like flakes of snow. His gait was soundless like the bird, but rapid like the roe. His fashions quaint, mosaic, or happily mistletoe. And that is scrawled, etched into the floor, like the entire floor underneath you, just over and over again.
Was that settling?
yeah, even more unsettling is that the writing is like really fine Alfaxmosy script, very clear and easy to read. It's like crazy people writing, only instead of like looking totally schizo, is all in cursive.
It's all very neat and formal.
It's kind of worse in a way.
Yeah. Thanks, I hate it.
No problem. I do what I can.
Is anything ringing a bell here? Probably read from the Celestine Empire. Probably read a ton of poetry.
She is talking about hauntings and ghosts.
Do I think it's actually about ghosts, though?
Maybe you're not completely sure. Maybe she finished it somewhere else.
Oh, yeah, because right now we have parts of it, don't we? Okay. Well,
What earlier part do we have?
The previous one, the one need not be a chamber to be haunted. One need not be a house. The brain has corridors surpassing this material place. The only ghost I ever saw was dressed in fine lace, so he wore no sandal on his foot and stepped like flakes of snow. His gait was
I see it
soundless
now.
like a bird, but rapid like a roe. His fashions quaint mosaic, happily mistletoe. All right. Gonna nope out of that for now and probably continue.
Yeah, that all just sounds like nonsense to Heinrich.
Parts of it probably make sense to Marjorie.
Perhaps if we find all of it, it will make more sense.
Perhaps. There's truth in many of these pieces. The first is the mind can be just as much of it as a prison. And she kind of looks at the new one. And this one is a bit harder. The only ghost I ever saw. She shakes her head a little bit. Dressed in fine lace. But yeah, she'll keep leading the way because we need to go up to find Maddie. So we will continue onward.
I think you broke again.
No, I'm just typing.
Yeah, he's been typing for a while, so yeah.
Because she's writing about stockpiling, and you find one of her stockpiles.
Oh, okay.
In it, you hit 2 syringes that give you back 10 HP, 2 50-round boxes of cartridges, and 1 20-round box of +1 cartridges, and 2 smoke bombs.
Oh. Are those match grade cartridges, I'd assume? Those +1s?
Yes.
If no one minds, Heinrich, would you like to split these amongst ourselves?
Unfortunately, Heinrich cannot use them because his rifle fires pinfire cartridges.
All for you, friend.
Thank you very much.
I can always keep the syringes in the briefcase for now.
True, so it might be a good idea to spread some of it among us. We may not always be together.
This is also fair.
She would suggest that probably Aramis should have one of the 10 HP syringes since he, has the new shiny armor.
Above table, I have 2 10 HP syringes and 2 1d8 +4 potions.
Okay. So then
So
I've
I'm
got
okay.
2
on that.
potions and 1 HP or 1 10 HP syringe in the bag of holding, essentially.
Okay. So then who doesn't have much of anything on them?
I've still got those healing potions from a while ago.
Sounds like it's for you and Daisy.
Okay. So I'll hang on to
Alright.
one, and Daisy wants one.
Sure.
I would have Heinrich explain to Daisy that they are for emergency use when you're wounded, and they you don't usually eat it. She would ask Heinrich to kindly explain how to use them so we don't have to like get traumatized every time she has to heal herself.
I'm sure eating all that glass isn't good for you either. I will. I will, in Old Common, give Daisy a crash course on using a syringe.
She just says eat.
No.
It's like the scene in Guardians of the Galaxy 2 with Groot and the detonation button. I am Groot.
Yeah, Daisy's like really confused because obviously she never had anything like this. She can't comprehend that she can do that. So she'll give it her best shot next time she's injured. I just
Okay.
imagine Heinrich's like, yeah, try and get it into a vein, and Daisy is very confused because she does not have veins.
I mean, just kind of jam it in there; it'll figure itself out.
No, not my veins. Your veins. Poke.
Got to get in those. What is it the plants use to move water around? Whatever those ducks are.
Right into chlorophyll.
That works.
Oh, and we have 2 smoke bombs to distribute. Does anyone want those?
Yes.
Okay. So, or you want both?
I can improve them.
Okay. So, yeah, add those to your inventory unless someone's really wants one.
All right. So you guys explore this little hidey hole of Mad Maddie. And you loot the crap out of it, gather all the stuff up, and continue on. Whoever's leading the way, hit me with another perception or investigate or stealth.
Okay. Ollie, you want to assist?
Sure, I can take charge on this one. He'll go about it from the angle of, okay, this was a hidey hole. If she goes from hidey hole to hidey hole, where would the next one be?
Yeah, you investigate and I will perceive. Okay.
All right, the two of you working together, very slowly but methodically make your way, continuing through this maze. There are more swinging doors, there are more pitfalls. Only now, you activate one of the pitfalls to get it to trigger so you don't have to worry about it. And the trapdoor opens directly to the city below, and you can see just how high you are.
Oh no, how high are we?
You are near the top of the wizard tower. You feel like you are getting very close. But you trigger the trap door, and the little door like cracks and falls off, and you just watch it tumble hundreds of feet below.
So we're officially a few stories up now. At least. What we're looking at, like 5 or 6 stories now, I assume.
Oh yes.
All right. Spooky. Yeah, because buildings don't really get too high, do they? Unless they're in like major metropolis areas, do they?
Yeah, like where you guys are right now.
All right. Well, we're in
But yes,
yeah,
you're
you know what I
pretty high
mean.
up.
Yeah. Okay. Marjorie makes sure to give the hole a wide berth and then continues on.
Not a fan of that hole.
But you do indeed continue on. There are some portions which require you guys to work together in order to rotate entire sections of the maze to get to the proper hallway. And you guys started this thing early in the morning, and you can tell that it is evening time and night is beginning to fall. By the time you get to the trap door and get a look outside, the construction up here is still kind of janky looking, but it feels way more solid. And eventually, Marjorie and Daisy, the two of you start hearing whispers. Never, you'll never get it, you'll never find it. Come to me then, come to me, I will stop you, I will stop you.
Just like the other guy. I assume we're really close then.
From the floors, the walls, and occasionally the ceiling.
Yeah, she's doing whatever that other guy was doing.
She is indeed.
Yeah. Creepy. Okay, and we're close to whatever main room or the very top is, or are we at the door to it?
Well, eventually you find yourselves in front of a very fine-looking archway. It has some regal-looking pillars with some feathery adornments. Looks like it's been heavily decorated with like some fake vines and stuff. You see some magical torches or oil lamps coming from the room beyond. You see a bunch of figures. Silhouettes of what look like people, but they're not moving.
Statues, maybe?
And you hear a soft echo of what could only be Mad Maddie. You intruders are always trying to get what is mine. You will never find it. You'll never get past the guards. And then you hear skittering away.
Okay, so another trapped room probably.
Highly
Okay.
likely.
Yeah. Are we able to get a look at these
Yeah.
figures?
You take a step inside, and a few of the figures are okayishly close to you, like maybe 30 feet away or so. You get a decent look at them. They all look like humanoid statues made out of junk, like cans and pipes and various like fenders from carriages and wagon wheels for like chests and stuff. But all of them have a similar feature: pots and pans that have been shaped into helmets that all have spikes on them. And all of them either have swords in their makeshift like claw hands made out of like pliers and stuff, or they have muskets.
Those are going to move, aren't they?
Yeah.
Well, let's just get to it then.
I suppose.
Heinrich sighs and takes one of the Ascentium potions to get it, or his only one to get his spell slots back.
I'll look at how close are all of these like things.
The room is filled with them. You can tell that you are in the wizard tower now, and you're not sure what this room used to be, but it used to be pretty nice. It's got like old empire looking columns around it, and it's got sort of a recessed floor, almost like a conversation pit in the middle. It's only a few steps deep, but it looks very dramatic and fancy. It's got all sorts of torn tapestries on the wall, and you can see on the opposite side of the room that there is a real staircase that looks like it's made out of stone leading upwards. And it is behind some sort of metal gate.
I wonder. I guess I'll look to see how all this nonsense could be triggered. I'm looking for tripwires. I mean, she might just stay within range to trigger it, so we can't avoid it to begin with.
Hit me with either an investigation or a perception.
Okay, 15, not bad. I was thinking I'm kind of due for a low roll. I just rolled like 2 20s. 220, 23.
We all investigating.
Yeah, everyone keep your
Whoever
eyes
wants
open for
you
trouble.
may do so.
Aramis will keep guard. While you're all investigating, he'll just be keeping watch, trying to make sure Valeria doesn't pop up or anyone else.
Sounds good. Rear guard.
Should I roll for that, Steve?
No, that's okay. You don't have to. You can keep watch on the door. You can take up the rear.
Cool.
Okay. So you guys take a look around. You begin to very cautiously walk up to some of these statues and investigate them, and you find that they are very much mechanical in nature. Heinrich especially, you take a look on the inside and you see like tons of gears and pistons and pulleys. And you kind of marvel at the intricacy of it all. It seems that Mad Maddie isn't quite as mad as she's been made out to be. She's got enough of her faculties to build construct.
I want to study these. Like, do we have to? Can we just spend like a week here so I look at these?
Ollie,
No.
you take a look at the ones that you can, and you can tell that they are much like the boilers magically assisted. And you can tell that there is some sort of magic, there's some sort of spell on them that creates it creates a very simple effect, but you're not 100% sure what it is. It is not powerful enough to animate them, but it would be powerful enough to, say, animate something very simple like a ballerina in a music box, like to make it spin, maybe.
Which then I would assume the mechanism would translate the rotation of one thing into the motion of the entire thing.
It's entirely possible. And
Clever.
Marjorie, you take a look at the backs of one of these, and you find that, well, not one of them, but several of them, something that they all have in common is that they have this weird plug or T-shaped piece sticking out of all of their backs.
Oh.
Oh,
They're
like they're
wind-up
wind-ups? Yeah.
Almost like a wind-up toy.
Wind-up
Yeah,
toy.
they're
Okay.
Clockwork automatons. I hate it.
Yeah. Do we feel like we've messed with this room because of the boilers, though? Or are these probably... She could just start these manually whenever?
You are not sure about the boilers being connected to this,
Okay.
but you guys also find that there are fishing lines attached to all of the little windies.
Where do those lines lead?
Oh, they lead up, my G, and all of you at once follow them up into the rafters, and you see the grizzled figure of Sergeant Maddie Haas up in the rafters holding a pair of smoke grenades and kind of like shining a flashlight on a cat at night. Her eyes light up and she's got like this weird fucked up grin. And you can see the horrors of the labyrinth curse. Her nose, her cheeks, her forehead, her arms, they look like they are covered in horns, like gnarly goat horns. And she just whispers, "Kaiser, protect you." And she drops the smoke grenades.
Would I be able Because Marjorie probably would have looked up a little slower because she was looking at her thing. Could I just cut the wire on mine? Because I have the little knives on me, a little stiletto.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I cut the little fishing line on the one next to me, or the one that I'm investigating. And
But
then
you
the
guys
smoke bombs.
recognize the smoke bombs. They're the same ones that you found. So you find out what they do. She drops them. There are two 30-foot radius balls of smoke that you guys can't really see through. Seems quite opaque. But she drops them, they leave a smoke trail behind them, and when they hit the ground, they just poof into giant plumes of smoke.
Right before she does that, I try and call out her name. I assume that's not going to work, though.
No, what do you say?
Sergeant, right?
Sergeant Maddie Haas, yes.
Heinrich is going to use his big boy Alfaxbos accent and shout, Sergeant Haas, what do you think you're doing attacking your relief?
What is this? An officer? After all this time? No, impossible. You're risky intruders. I've seen them. They're wicked people. They're trying to steal the Kaiser's material. He needs them.
I am here to collect some.
There is a pause, and while everybody's kind of getting their bearings and maybe even avoiding the smoke, after the pause, you hear a giant thud. She has obviously dropped from the ceiling. Yes, you say you are superior. What is your name then? What regiment?
Heinrich's gonna be truthful about all of that. I don't think we ever talked about that stuff.
Oh, you never came up with the regiment or whatever that you were in, specifically.
No.
That's all right. You just make it up off the top of your head. It's fine. Call it the 4th Assault Regiment.
No, he's got to be the Luftwaffe.
Not yet. Soon.
Too soon.
Yes, he would be a what would the high-ranking engineers be? Like a first lieutenant or something?
Either a 2nd lieutenant or a master sergeant.
Yeah, he's 2nd lieutenant Heinrich Gross of the 4th Assault, did you say? Battalion?
4th Assault Regiment.
Regiment.
Yeah, write it down because I didn't remember it.
I will do that. Yes, he will announce his rank. Say he has been sent to retrieve the materials and personnel to bring back to us for debriefing.
Master Sergeant Heinrich. You was the 2nd Lieutenant Heinrich. You was the head engineer on the Bamba House. You worked on a Zeppelin. I remember you.
Indeed, I was. To the unfortunate loss of the majority of them, this is my new assignment to retrieve that which is missing.
every time there's an exchange between you two, you can tell that she's moving around because her voice comes from a different place in the smoke. Was these people with you, Heinrich? They are foreigners, and I believe some of them are. And this part comes way too close from the smoke. Some of them are Celestine.
Do we hear this?
Oh yeah, all you guys hear this.
Aramis will speak up and say, "We are prisoners of his. He has captured us. And he's preparing to take us to justice."
But you guys are armed.
Go ahead.
I was going to say out of character, I would have used that we were foreign spies working for the Alphaxmos nation, but sure. I unfortunately can't talk in common.
Aramis, you hear her like shuffling around. It sounds like a burlap sack filled with like plastic dog toys or something is clattering around because her entire body is covered in horns. And she just goes, "Liar, Celestine scum, keep your forked tongue behind your teeth."
The Kaiser's resources are stretched thin. I've had to hire external help. He sounds very unhappy that he had to do such a despicable thing, especially with Celestines.
Heinrich, hit me with either a persuasion or a deception, and you get advantage.
Ooh.
Nice.
She like moves very rapidly towards you, Heinrich, and she just goes, "Yes, as I feared, the Kaiser needs what I've gathered for him. If it's as bad as you say it is, you will need what I have. But it's so hard, Heinrich." And you hear like the sounds of what sounds like her dragging her nails across the floor and just scratching, just. I will try, Heinrich. Just don't touch the automatons. The power flow has been interrupted. It will become unpredictable.
Thank you for warning. And we'll head over to look for whatever she has stashed away.
You see her slinking out of the smoke on the other side of the room, heading towards the gate. "Come here, Heinrich. Come, follow me. I will lead the way safely."
That an invitation for all of us, or does she literally just mean Heinrich?
When you guys follow Heinrich, she kind of looks over her shoulder and like grimaces and frowns, but she doesn't stop you.
What?
You feel like you should probably be careful with what you do and say while you are following Heinrich. She still doesn't like you guys or trust you. But
Especially
you get
two of us.
Yeah, you guys get a really good look at her. She's wearing all sorts of rags that look like a cloak, but they're like tied to her joints and around some of the horns and stuff. And just like goat horns or cow horns is growing off of every inch of her body, which is why she has a bunch of trouble moving around and why it sounds so gnarly with the clicks and the clacks and the skittering. And it's really fucking up her movement, so she's like limping and slouching.
Well, in a show of, what's the right word?
Solidarity?
No, not solidarity. Of
Good faith.
ceasefire. That's
Yeah, good
enough.
faith, probably too.
Yeah, he'll stow his wand inside his jacket.
Marjorie's covering her mouth because that's the only thing she knows to do to not catch certain things. She's not sure how you catch this, but she is obviously disgusted. But she doesn't say anything.
Oh, Heinrich is too. He's got that Alfaxmos composure, though.
So you guys follow her over to the gate, and she struggles to unlock it. Her fingers are kind of all jacked up, and there's sort of a spinning dial puzzle lock that you guys would have to fuck with in order to get out of this room. But she solves it, and at one point, you guys can tell that she is in a ton of pain and or discomfort. And at one point, she kind of opens her mouth to like grimace and scream. And Heinrich, you're close enough to get a view of her tongue, and there's even horns on her tongue.
Oh!
But she opens it up, and then she begins scrambling slowly up the stairs. Come here, Heinrich! And every once in a while, like every 30 feet or so, she kind of like pauses and lurches somewhat backwards as if she's going to try and like fight you and stop you. But she grabs herself and continues forward instead. Like she's fighting some urges.
Got that. Loyalty's a hell of a drug.
Yeah. Oh man, got her good. Marjorie keeps her knife close.
All right, you guys go up the spiral staircase, and it leads to the very top of the wizard tower. And you are treated to basically Mad Maddie's nest. It is filled with mechanical gizmos, makeshift Alfaxmos flags and tabards, and what look to be either old paintings of the Kaiser or personal paintings as painted by Maddie of the Kaiser and of Prince Otto. There are statues, some of which were obviously made by her. Other statues which were not made by her, but she has altered to look more like the Kaiser. She has made the pointy Alfaxmos helmets and put them on some of the busts. Heinrich, you see tons and tons of work tables and shelves filled with very high quality tools, metals, and equipment to work with them. And all the way in the corner, you see a big old cage that looks like it's made with the bones of some kind of large creature. And on the inside is a very thin, unhealthy looking woman in tattered, dirty wizard robes. And she weakly looks up at you guys and doesn't say anything and just looks down.
Oh, the one from the flyer?
It is indeed. It is the wizard. Oh, yeah, let's see if you remember it.
Her name is. Let's see.
Agravina.
That's the one.
That's
Sorry,
right.
Agrafina.
It was Agrafina all along.
Get out.
Yuck! And of course, every spare inch of the room is covered in her crazy people writing.
Well, I'd be worried if it wasn't at this point.
Does a Miss Agrafina look like she have the labyrinth curse? Or she look alright aside from just being emaciated?
Emaciated. That's the word I was looking for earlier but couldn't find.
Yeah, you're welcome.
If you want to, hit me with a medicine check. Or survival.
Better off doing survival on my end. Oh, okay. Nice.
You take a look at her, and the cage is pretty big. It looks like a dinosaur rib cage or something that she's in. But she is nestled up in the corner, and She doesn't really respond to you. She gives you like a single glance and it just goes back to staring at the floor. Marjorie, if she has an illness, you can't really tell what it is, but you're considering how long she must have been here, ain't no way she's got the labyrinth curse. Heinrich, from across the room, you give her a very cursory examination. She is obviously like emaciated, starved. She's got very poor health. You feel like she needs to go to a hospital and stay there for a while. Health potions and syringes aren't really going to help her.
Right.
She's like the heavyweight champion of Auschwitz right now.
Oh boy.
Ooh, yeah. So
That's
she's
dark.
yeah, she's been kept here for a while. Uh, was this her tower then?
Yep.
It
I
used to be.
assume so. Okay, that's what I figured. Just wanted to clarify. All right, so yeah, hey, imprisoned the previous owner.
Her name was on the pamphlet for
It
the fake flying
was.
machine.
Yeah, I wonder why she kept her alive, because she's killing everyone else.
Good question.
I guess.
Also, here's before you continue, here's the
Yeah.
writing you guys find on the floor.
Oh, yeah, sure. His conversations seldom, his laughter like the breeze that dies away in dimples among the pensive trees. Our interview was transient, of me himself was shy, and God forbid I look behind since that appalling day.
Here, Lieutenant. Here is everything I've managed to gather. And Heinrich, she leads you over towards her workstation, which is just piles and piles of, from maybe a distance and to the untrained eye, junk. But to you, she has saved the good shit. And you don't even need to roll a tools check. When you start, picking stuff up and looking at it, just by looking at the serial numbers and by sight and touch alone, you feel like she has been collecting Zeppelin parts. A lot of this stuff is of Alfaxmos make.
Where have you been finding all of this?
Everywhere, Herr Heinrich. Some from here in Joserstan. Others from all over. I keep track of the black market, and occasionally, some Celestine traders come through, and they try to sell the parts to me. I get the parts, and they tell no one else. Ow.
Frown at that. So what, she's like a killing black market Celestine sellers.
That's what it sounds like.
Kind
Yeah.
of weird that the Celestine black market salesmen have Zeppelin parts, but yeah.
Well, not really.
Not
Yeah.
that weird, but
not super weird. It's a little weird they're here.
It's weird that they don't. Do they look like they're in good shape, or that they've been through some shit?
Some of them are in good shape. Most of them look like they've been through some shit, but all of them are still in working condition. They're Alfaxmos made, after all.
True.
Of course, Heinrich, you are not surprised by this.
No. And he'll look over the Cajun corner. Photo of your prisoner.
The liar, the traitor. She was the worst of them all. Look, and she Quasimodo hobbles over to one of the tables, and she takes a tarp that's covering a pile of stuff and whips it over, and you find the flying machine that was advertised on her pamphlet. And Mad Maddie just kind of spits out, "It doesn't fuck! She has the best, the best, the best, the best, and it doesn't work. This will not help the Kaiser. The Kaiser had this, he would lose against those who lurk below.
Perhaps in its current state, but perhaps.
Hit me with a tools check if you want.
Yeah.
While he's doing that, it's kind of like a Marjorie kind of leans in. Those who lurk below. Who's that?
She like takes her gross horny fingers and like rakes them all over her body, and she just goes, one of them, one of you. The queen below, the queen below, the queen below, the queen below. She's coming, she's coming. And only the Kaiser can stop her. Ah, yes, but you know all about it, don't you, liar, deceiver?
I could not say I am privy to such a thing. Could you elaborate? It would be important for Heinrich to know to report back.
No sandal on his foot, steps like flakes of snow. Transient, soundless like a bird. You know him, laughter like the breeze. Conversation seldom, plants of trees. And she begins like spinning around. And,
Is she saying the poem?
He works for the queen below. He works for the queen below. Only the Kaiser can stop her. Only the Kaiser can stop her. Oh, but he will stop her. He will stop her. Heinrich, yes.
Ollie leans in to Marjorie and says, perhaps she's referring to the Queen in Genna, or maybe Empress Zuri.
Since she says that I would know, because being Celestine, I can only think that she means Zuri, yes. I would agree.
Queen below, for someone that was former Zeppelin engineer. Makes sense.
Indeed. Does it look like Maddie has been drinking anything in here?
Marjorie, you take a look around, and it looks like you see she's got some nest-like looking bits. She's got a bunch of hay and rags and blankets that she sleeps on that looks mildly comfortable, but you're pretty sure that like there is no comfort for Maddie, very little sleep as well, probably. But she has like open, empty tins of like beans and preserves. She's got like water supplies and stuff. Like she's surviving.
Because I was going to try and get her to drink something that I drug to maybe knock her out or something. What do you guys think?
We don't know if this disease makes her resistant to that kind of stuff. Would be my only concern.
Yeah.
Because this is some weird magical disease.
It is, but I don't think she's gonna be able to resist opium very well.
I mean, go for it.
Cocaine.
What?
Crack cocaine.
Right? Question mark? Yeah. Yeah, do I see something that looks like she's been drinking recently? Because I'm just looking for a way to sneak or something.
She's got some water jugs.
Hmm.
How big are her jugs?
She's got some good-sized jugs.
Good for
Okay.
her.
Good
Heavy.
for.
Hefty. Made out of porcelain.
Whoa.
Ooh.
Do I feel like one of these tablets would be enough to, or I'd need to put one in just a single cup, right? And that
How
would
many-
knock her out.
How many tablets of what do you have?
I have 4 opium sleeping pills.
You would probably need all 4 of them in one of these jugs.
Hmm.
You would feel safe with 4 of them in one jug.
I'm just trying to think of like, because we want her drugged now. So like, if I drop them into her jug now, like it's gonna be a little bit before she passes out. And she's gonna be suspicious if I offer her a drink.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. It would have to come from Heinrich, probably. While she's freaking out, would I be able to like, because Heinrich knows I have the pills, can I like mime to him what I plan to do, and I have like the small bottle in my hand while she's like flipping her shit? Can I like try and get him
Heinrich-
on board?
Heinrich, while Mad Maddie is talking to you and you're trying to examine this flying machine, Marjorie catches your eye and you look over and you see her doing. What does he see you doing?
She has her like, I don't know if we have like a canteen, and she has the bottle of pills in her hands, and she mimes pouring them into it, and then kind of the giving it to her gesture, and kind of like, huh? Like, does that sound like a good idea? She shrugs.
Hunter kind of shrugs a little, but he'll nod his head.
Okay. How many do I think I need to put in my canteen?
Specifically, your canteen.
Yeah.
Do you have alchemist's tools? Because otherwise, hit me with a medicine check.
I was about to say, I just have thieves in disguise. And weavers, so they're all unrelated. Yeah, medicine. Yeah, I'll try medicine. Huh, 6. I mean,
One of these is good for killing pain. 2 of them is good to like knock you out for the night. So you're thinking either 3 or 4. You don't know if 4 would be too much though in such a small dose.
yeah, because, well, I mean, she's also kind of dying, I guess, so it wouldn't be like the worst way to go. Not to like she like thinks about that for a second. Like, I mean, there are worse ways to die, I guess. Maybe. What do you, as a party, do you think I should do 4? Or is
Yeah, she'll
everyone
be all right.
just cool with me winging it?
She'll be all right.
I mean, she'll either be alright or be dead. Either way, kind of a win-win.
Damn.
Well, because Marjorie's like looking at her. She's been killing a bunch of Celestains. Oh yeah, she gets like a little look in her eye for a second. And she turns away so that Heinrich doesn't see how many she puts in, and she'll put all of them in there.
Damn.
She breaks the little capsules so it gets in there. Well, actually, I don't know if they're made like that or if they're just like solid tablets.
Now we're gonna make it so that they're like that, so you can dump them in.
Yeah,
It's too good.
I pop them in, and I'll agitate it enough where like it's not sloshing, you can't hear it, and then I put the cap on, and I'd like walk over to Heinrich and I don't know. While she gets in a particularly wild tirade, I would palm him my canteen so he can pass it off as his.
Give me a sleight of hand.
Fuck. Come on. Okay, wait. I'm going to re-roll that. I have an inspiration.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm going to use it on that. Wow, what a thing to botch. Okay. That's not terrible.
No, that's enough. You wait for your moment to strike, and you pass this off into Heinrich. He's got his hands behind his back, and you pretend like you're trying to look at what he's doing, and you just plop the canteen in his hands, while Sergeant Maddie Haas is going off on how evil this witch is. Her original plan was to try and get these parts back from her. She wanted to take this flying machine and give it to the Kaiser so he could fight the Queen below. But as Heinrich is discovering, examining it, this thing doesn't actually fly. It's she has taken and stolen some very expensive, very rare bits of Alfaxmos technology, but she doesn't know how to use them actually. So all it really does is light up and spin, but not actually fly. So it looks really good, but doesn't really work. And you guys can tell that the reason Mad Maddie is angry at this woman is because she's been had. She wanted it to work and it didn't. And she believes that Agrafina over here is holding out on her. She's locked her in a cage trying to get her to talk. And you guys know a grifter when you see one. She said everything she can say, and she's just slowly wasting away.
Bummer. Man, don't you wish maybe not grifters get this, but get a nice slap on the hand.
I feel like maybe this is Ollie's moment to speak up as a business person. And just say something along the lines of, well, she's clearly trying to push a limited product that doesn't meet the expectations of the market. I don't think she's going to be able to give you much more, if any.
Mad Maddie kind of recoils and hisses at you. Her eyes go wide. And she's got little horns on her eyelids. And she skitters up next to you and, like, claws at your coat and stuff. Yes, fancy words for a slaver. Tell me, barony scum, how many do you own? Who suffered to bring you these fineries?
None. My sister made these, and my family pays all its employees.
More like pays for them. I recognize your accent, Ashburn Sound. Built on the backs of slaves. Listen not to them, Herr Heinrich. The people of the barony are traitors and liars.
Not a single collar in my family's household, but okay.
Traitors and liars, Herr Heinrich. Traitors and liars. One not need the chamber to be haunted. One not need be a house. The brain has corridors surpassing this material place. Brain, corridors, brains. Oh man, is Heinrich back? Is Heinrich still gone?
Possibly.
Okay, because Matt said he left, and he never said he came back, so he just missed all of this.
A little bit. Oh, he PM'd me. He's feeling queasy, so he said he'll be back once he feels like he's not gonna have an immediate issue.
Oh, he's Yara plucking up some goo.
Maybe.
It's fine. I mean, we can catch him up at some point.
No.
Yep.
We
That's
will
true.
forget.
Oh, I'm not dead yet.
Oh, were you listening at least?
A little bit.
Okay. So you have the canteen behind your back. I managed to palm it to you, and she's going on. And
Talking about how Ollie's a dirty slave and liar.
I would walk away, and I'm like back behind ish her, and I nod that everything's good to go. I'm looking around, waiting.
So, what do I find out checking this thing out with my tools?
That it is made out of high quality, smuggled Alfaxmos materials, but it's all smoke and mirrors. It doesn't actually do anything, it just looks cool.
Ah, alright.
A pre-built Dell PC case with LED lights on the inside.
Ah, okay. Excellent. I understand that analogy.
I thought you would.
Heinrich will stand up from, leaning over on the workbench, examining this stuff, and look over at Maddie. This may not work itself, but the parts are indispensable. You've done a very good job here. And he hands over, reaches out the canteen. So it is not much, simply water, but you have performed admirably here. You deserve some sort of token reward, if nothing else. So have a drink.
Second Lieutenant, you honor me. Thank you. And she takes that canteen and gives it a chuggerino. She gives it a chug. It has been so long since I've had fresh water. I've been drinking the collections from the rain off the roof. I've had to do many things, Heinrich. And I hope the Kaiser will forgive me for my failings. And you can see that she is shedding some tears, and they look red as blood.
Ooh. So there are some failures. There are, I believe, more than enough successes to tip the scales. As it were.
She has trouble breathing, and she kind of keels over on her hands and knees. Heinrich, my affliction. I am in great pain. I'm so tired. Before you write your report, would it be okay if I get some rest?
She's laying down on the ground, you said?
She's on her hands and knees.
He'll crouch down as much as his back will allow him to. Yes, of course, you've earned a rest.
She closes her eyes.
From here.
She closes her eyes. I say, thank you, Heinrich. No glory to the Kaiser. She flops onto the floor.
Sleeping or dead?
Staring at her, like in suspense.
You guys kind of lean in.
Yeah.
And she goes,
Okay.
She is still alive.
Marjorie's kind of surprised. She doesn't say anything.
Well, We have more than enough bags of holding to procure all of this. And we have someone to rescue. So let's get to work.
Been a far too enlightening experience that I hope to never repeat.
Indeed.
Marjorie's kind of still standing over Maddie. What will we do with her?
Could take her to a church to be studied. Can't cure the labyrinth curse if they don't know anything about it.
We cannot take her all the way to Genna.
You're
No,
in
but-
Genna.
No,
Or
not
no,
in
you're in
Joserstan.
Joserstan. What are you talking about? Never mind.
The
I'm reading my notes here.
game.
No, it's my bad. There is a chapel here in Joserstan that you can take her to.
Yeah, but like on this side of the tracks,
No.
we'd have to like carry her through a city.
You sure would.
Well, I mean, you drugged her up good. She'll probably be out cold. We could, like, wrap her in a rug or something.
Yeah,
There are
Marjorie.
rugs here.
Yeah, there are.
If we... If we need to just get them past the blockade quickly, I mean... I think I could shrink them and make them invisible if I really needed to.
That would be super short term, though. I think reduce is only a minute.
Tops.
How long did it take us to walk, or did it take Ollie to walk through the checkpoint? The rest of us didn't do that.
Couple minutes.
And also,
A few minutes.
would they let you back now
I
that you've come over here?
How long can you survive in a bag of holding before?
As long as you can hold your breath.
Oh, and if she's passed out, she can't hold her breath.
Mm. So just instantly start suffocating.
No, but maybe we just bring her closer and send for a member of the church to retrieve them.
Do not know how long she will be out.
Well, we take her out of her labyrinth, we take her out of her element.
True. She was able to make her way, at least all around this district. I assume she may have even gotten out. Although, if you were to shrink her, I could use my flying machine to move her.
You would only have a minute, but it would greatly reduce the weight.
Would be a very easy way to get past the checkpoint.
Provided no one looks up.
We could do it at another spot further down. It's along a river, right? Or is it train tracks?
It was train tracks.
It was the choo-choo.
If you could do it further down the tracks,
Back in a second.
out of sight of the checkpoint at least. Say we'll never suspect a thing.
Marjorie stands over her for kind of a hot minute, and then slowly backs away, and then starts collecting things. She'll gather up some things, but then go to Arafina,
Agrafina, yes.
Agrafina, and I assume, is there a key nearby?
Oh, Heinrich would go straight there to pick
Oh,
the lock.
okay. All right.
So
Yeah.
when you walk over, he's already fiddling with the lock.
You guys have no trouble getting the chains and locks open. You open up the enclosure and then take her out of her bindings. She's got chains around her feet, and she's got chains around her hands, but there's like the metal cups around her hands so she can't cast. And you remove everything, and she is in a very pitiful state.
I will give her my water bottle, the not poisoned one.
Well, I assume Maddie downed my whole thing.
She did.
Yeah, she needed that.
It was the Kaiser's best water. Of course, she drank it all.
Right, yeah.
Thoroughly
Yeah.
rinse before you use it next.
Marjorie, like, did Heinrich hand it back to her?
He probably would have set it down on the table, so easy to grab.
Nadia immediately throws it into the nearest fireplace.
Yeah, I was about to say, if you'd handed it to her, she would have just let it slip from her hand and hit the floor. Like, she wouldn't take that. She's
They're
like,
easy enough to replace.
yeah.
Here's a list of things you guys find.
Whoa, she stole a lot.
She has about 50,000 gold's worth of various coins, monies, riches that she kept in a chest to give to the Kaiser to help with his efforts of the queen down below. She has, Heinrich, more than enough fine machined Alfaxmos parts for you to finish your apparatus.
Hooray!
You guys find 8 usable smoke grenades,
Okay.
2 small Ascentium potions, which can restore 6 levels worth of spell slots.
Ooh. I
Those
could use
are
one of
probably worth.
those.
They might be worth holding on to.
Oh, the
I don't know.
pots, yeah.
If you guys have enough spell slots for that, I only have 3.
Yeah, I
It's not
only
worth-
have 3 right now, but like Daisy and I are gonna get more. Oh, and
Right.
Yeah.
Ollie, yeah.
Was it just that specific potion that I had that I could dose? Or is it all of these potions? For Ascentium.
Like, if you wanted to just drink enough to restore a single spell slot, you could.
Oh, okay. So that works.
Cool.
As long as you, like, keep track of how many, levels worth of spell slots it has after that.
So is
Oh.
that one potion that has 6 levels, or is it the 2 together have 6?
2 with 6 each.
Okay, just making sure. I think could I take one of the mana pots?
Yeah.
Go for it.
I've got one with 2 levels left, so as wizard it'd be nice to have a backup, but if we need to give that one to Daisy first.
My
can do
one
that.
is down to 2 slots, but I'm gonna have the least slots out of all of us, so you guys take the bigger ones.
Okay. So I took one. Someone else is free to take the other one. Feel like that's fair. Oh, and then we
Daisy,
got
do you want it?
bunch of
Or do you want Ollie to
syringes.
have it?
Daisy might be dead.
I would like it.
Go for it.
Yeah.
This is mine now.
In addition, you find 4 10 HP syringes and 6 small health potions that restore 1d8 plus 4 health.
Mhm.
And the most interesting things you find are her gigantic Zweihander, which is her claymore, so she's unconscious. You don't have to deal with that right now.
Nice.
And you also find a tiny glowing orb that when you study it, you find that it is an orb of stationary scrying that has 4 charges left. And you feel like this is what she was using to keep an eye on people in her maze,
Oh, okay.
where you can throw it down like a security camera and access it whenever you want, where it keeps an
Hmm.
eye on a certain area.
That's pretty neat.
What does the 4 charges mean? Can you only look in on it 4 times?
You can place down 4 more of these things to look at, to look through.
Oh, and you could potentially retrieve them?
Not sure.
No, they are not retrievable
Oh, so you just put
How
them
long
down.
do they last?
Yeah, like how does that work?
until they're dispelled.
Oh.
Okay, so we could like put it down. So it's essentially like a
Just
security camera in a
Yeah.
room that we could always be wanting to look in on.
so if there's
Correct.
someone we want to spy on in the future, we could just drop it somewhere and get
Yeah,
some
just like
deets.
squeeze it and drop an invisible scrying eye and look through the orb later.
All right, who wants to hang on to that?
I'll do that.
Okay. Can anyone even wield the Zweilander? I guess Nadia can,
His
right?
Vihander? Nah.
Because she likes swords, isn't she?
She could.
Is it better than what she has?
She's got a normal longsword right now. Yeah, Heinrich will ask her if she wants to use that thing. It's a
Just
bit
for
bigger,
now,
than
since-
what she has now, but
For now, since we finished, I'm gonna go ahead and put the healing items in the briefcase, and we can divvy them out later.
all right. I'm just gonna grab the rest of those smoke grenades because I can mess with them and fill them up with goo.
Okay. Yeah, because I think for the healing items, most of us have at least 2 things on each of
Yeah.
us. So
I'll hold on to our stockpile to keep it in a consolidated place.
Okay.
We
Sounds
can always
good.
divvy it out as needed.
Heinrich, if you wanted to give the Zweihander to Nadia, it's I got the stats down there.
I suppose because that's Marshall, right? I can't use that.
Yes, and she needs how much strength does she have?
14, I think.
That is what she needs. Okay, good.
Okay, so she's.
And it's
all right.
very important that she remember that you remember that it has 10-foot reach.
Okay.
She
Yeah,
give
there's
it a good
stop
swing.
for it.
It's kind of funny. A lot of the. Well, Aramis got some armor, but it's kind of funny. Everything else is for NPCs.
Oh, hey, and we need to equip them just like us.
Somebody's got to. But all right, Mad Maddie, unconscious and filled with drugs. Agrafina, the wizard bullshitter, is almost dead, but alive for now. And you guys are in the crooked nest of somebody with the labyrinth curse. What do you say we end it here for tonight?
Yeah, sounds like a
Sounds
good place to stop.
Steve, should I get rid of the big barf on Yarlplex sheet? Oh wait, I don't think I can. Steve, do you want to get rid of the big barf
Yes.
on Yarlplex sheet?
Yes, I'll get rid of the big barf.
All right, let me test this out.
But all right, yeah, we'll meet same time, same place.
She can't hit for shit still.
Yeah!
Sounds good.
+0. What?
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye, everybody!